So here's my new hot tent. I got a nice fire burning in there. It's a cool rainy spring day. It's been raining off and on. Good day to try out this tent. This is my first time setting it up. I also wanted to try out the wood stove without having to wait for winter time. So I figured I'd travel up to the mountains. It's always cooler up here. It's windier. The weather just tends to get a little worse, which is what I want. I'm at around 2,800 feet in elevation. Pretty high up for Pennsylvania. The first thing I noticed was this very high quality carrying case from RBM Outdoors. And the wood stove came in this wooden crate, which I thought was really cool. This is definitely not lightweight gear though, so it's not meant to take with you hiking, but it's good for if you're camping near your vehicle, or if you have a snowmobile or an ATV, something like that. Comes with a carrying case for the wood stove. I'm unpacking all this stuff out here for the first time, so I'm not even exactly sure what all is going to be in here. And yes, I do have a trash bag for all the packing material that I'll haul out with me when I leave. So here's the wood stove. I'll set it here, set that up later. I'll unpack the tent and set it up. So I wasn't sure what this was at first. Later I found out it's a door you can attach that swings open and closed. A bag of tent stakes, some guy lines. You just unfold it, spread the sides out. Then once you lay it out on the ground, just climb inside and it just pops up kind of like an umbrella or a hunting blind if you've ever used one. Then just push the sides out. Not much to it. Then all you have to do is stake it down. It has this long bar in the center that you can push up on when you pop it up. Then you just unscrew it when you're done. Then there's a smaller one you can screw in to keep it from collapsing. And they give you a bag of heavy-duty tent stakes. These ones, which are for snow and ice. Here's some kind of extra storage pockets, a bunch of rope for the guy lines, and a patch kit for any repairs that you might have to make. In this bag is a really nice multi-tool with a hammer. That is awesome. The knife is actually really sharp too. I am just really impressed with all of this. The quality of all of this gear. With all the stake out and tie out points this thing has, and all the guy lines, unless a tornado rips through, I don't think this thing's going anywhere. It even has reflectors on it. And I ended up finding these a little too late. These line tensioners. I tied taut line hitches anyway, so no big deal. The rain's back. A fireproof mat. Now we'll set up the wood stove. I'm kind of just winging this whole setup. I don't like reading instructions anyway. Then the pipes are pretty easy to connect, and I like that the stovepipe opening is at the front of the stove. Keeps it farther away from the wall of the tent. Once I have them connected on the inside, then I'll go to the outside, lift up the cover on the stove jack, feed the pipes through to the outside, and then connect the rest of them. I'll roll up the flap. There's some loops with toggles you can tuck it into, and that's it. It's not cold enough out here to justify using the wood stove. It's low 50s, Fahrenheit that is. But I want to see how good this tent holds heat. This wet wood's not ideal. It'll create some creosote and smoke, but not really going to find anything dry out here today. This is a solid little wood stove. It's got a pretty long firebox. But for now I'm just making a smaller fire because I'm not sure yet how fast it's going to heat up in here. Nice little door. Seems to seal really good when it's closed, and it heats up my feet nicely. It's staying nice and dry in here too. Chimney sits nice and high up above the tent. That'll keep the heat away from it and any sparks that might come out. Everything on this tent feels very durable, good quality material. Ooh, I can feel the heat coming out of there already. Close the outer door. You can see there's space in between the inner wall and the outer wall. Keeps dead air trapped in between the walls, which insulates it very well. The screen door here. And the inner door. And that door over there does the same thing. It's got these little windows that zip up. Same with that one. Lots of storage pockets. There's even heat shields on the sides of the wood stove, a pan for cleaning out ashes. Wow, and up top here, it's got to be at least 90 degrees up here. All I've burned so far is a little bit of kindling. It's only been burning for about 10 or 15 minutes. Didn't take long at all for it to heat up in here. A little too warm in here now. Might have to open this door. So at least I know it holds heat well. So I'll let the fire die down. And this is a removable floor, so you can unzip it, and then the floor comes off. The floor is also waterproof. It's got this little flap here. I assume this is for air intake for the stove, so it sucks in fresh air while it burns. There's also this fireproof material behind the wood stove with an air gap in between it and the wall. That'll protect the tent wall from the heat. Everything is very well thought out, down to every little detail, including the quality of the materials. The fire died down a little bit. It's getting a little more comfortable in here. All I know is I am very happy with everything so far. So I love that I can stand up in this tent. This thing is spacious. Look at this. I'll put a cot right here. It's going to be great for the winter. So this tent also comes with an insulated floor that goes under this one to insulate everything from the ground, but that's for snow and more extreme cold. It's just a chilly spring day today, so I'm not worried about all that. This is the insulated floor that it comes with. That would go under the tent. It's really coming down out there now. It is coming down out there. Later on at night it cooled down a good bit, so I got the fire going again. Plus I want to cook some food. So I'm going to heat up a pot of water on the stove. I also like that the sides of the stove are glass. Gives you some light from the flames. There's just some soot buildup from the wet firewood I'm using. I'm going to be having one of my favorite camp meals tonight. Mountain House beef stew. Stuff is so good. If you've never had it, I highly recommend it. Just add hot water, then mix it up and let it sit for a while. Then it'll be ready to eat. So I'm going to finish this up and lay down for the night. I'll leave the link and all the information to the tent and the stove in the video description.